Hi everyone, good evening. This is Abhay Mahajan, and I welcome you all to this YouTube channel series called Beyond Textbooks, wherein we discuss things which are not there in textbooks. So आज हम क्या discuss करने वाले हैं? So guys, आज हम एक geometry का important point of the triangle discuss करने वाले हैं, right? So what we're discussing today is something called orthocenter, and we also will be discussing a triangle associated with orthocenter called orthic triangle. Okay, so the properties of orthic triangle and everything that we'll be discussing with orthocenter today. So it is going to be quite interesting because orthocenter is something which we all know. ठीक है, सबको पता है कि orthocenter क्या होता है. But again, the questions which come in say pre-RMO or NACGS regarding this, they belong to some of the properties of orthocenter which many may not know. All right, so let us get started. And before starting the session, let me tell you that there is a thing called sine rule which we'll be using extensively in this session. So sine rule, if you don't know, it says for any triangle, A upon sine A is equal to B upon sine B is equal to C upon sine C is equal to 2R. So this is what sine rule says, right? So in any triangle, so where small a, small b, small c are standard notations. How these notations are made? We usually denote angles by capital A, B, and C. And angle, the side opposite to capital A would be small a, this would be small c, and this would be small c. So in any triangle, the sine rule holds. It says a upon sine a. So a upon the sine of the opposite angle is equal to b upon the sine of the opposite angle is side c upon the sine of the opposite angle, and this is equal to 2r, where r is the circumradius. ये कैसे आया इसका प्रूफ अलग है, and again this can be easily found on the internet or in some of the common books. You can see this, right, if you don't know about it, but we'll be making use of this sine rule in many questions today and in many concepts today. All right, so let us get started guys, right? Orthocenter होता क्या है, which is something which we all know. So orthocenter is the point of intersection of all the altitudes. So what we do is we draw a triangle. We draw altitude from A to BC. ठीक है, so AD is perpendicular to BC, B is perpendicular to AC, and CF is perpendicular to AB. These all altitudes meet at a common point. ठीक है, ऐसा क्यों होता है? Again, this is something which we'll discuss in probably another lecture, right? So मान लो ऐसा होता है, right? And if you're a mathematics enthusiast, please try to prove this. Please try to prove this. Why are all the altitudes of triangle concurrent? Why are altitudes of the triangle concurrent? Concurrent means they meet at a common point. ये तीनों के तीनों ऑल्टीट्यूड हमेशा एक ही पॉइंट पे मीट क्यों करते हैं? देयर इज अ ज्योमेट्रिक प्रूफ ऑफ दिस. प्लीज ट्राई एंड वर्क ऑन दिस, राइट? आज के सेशन में हम इसको डिस्कस नहीं कर रहे, हम जस्ट ऑर्थो सेंटर और उसकी प्रॉपर्टीज पढ़ने वाले हैं. All right, so let us continue. So orthocenter, as I was saying, is a point of intersection of all the altitudes. So तीनों altitudes को draw करेंगे, ये exactly एक ही point पे meet करेंगे. इस point को normally हम capital H से denote करते हैं and call the orthocenter of the triangle. Right? So no problems with this. Very simple. Now, what are the properties involved? What are other things involved with orthocenter? Let us discuss that. All right. So properties. Now one thing, and this is the most important guys, and इसके बारे में हम आज discuss करने वाले हैं. The triangle formed by feet of these altitudes is called the orthic triangle. So feet of the altitude means the points D, E, and F. So if we join these 3 points, so that is DE, BF, and EF, if we join these, this triangle is called the orthic triangle. This triangle is called the orthic triangle. So there is an orthic triangle associated with every triangle. How is that formed? We join the feet of the altitudes. Foot of the perpendiculars we join, and the triangle thus formed is called the orthic triangle. Right? तो इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा और डिटेल में डिस्कस करते हैं. Right? Before that, let us quickly go through some of the properties of orthocenter also. Now this is again a very important. So if we have 3 altitudes, now there are 6 cyclic quadrilaterals which can be seen. What are those 6 cyclic quadrilaterals? So can I say BDHF is one cyclic quadrilateral? And in one of the earlier sessions, I proved that how can a quadrilateral be cyclic? if we either prove that opposite angles, the sum of the opposite angles, the sum of the opposite angles is 180 degrees. So in this case, angle F plus angle D is 180 degrees. So if we consider the quadrilateral BDHF, we can see that angle D plus angle F, they're both 90 degrees and whose sum is 180 degrees. So since the sum of two opposite angles of a quadrilateral is 180 degrees, so can I say BDHF is a cyclic quadrilateral? And more importantly, BH is also the diameter of the cyclic quadrilateral. BH will also be the diameter of the circle thus formed. So there's a circle which connects, obviously the cyclic quadrilateral, there is a circle which connects all the 4 points. So BH will be the diameter of that circle. And again, this can be proved that because this angle is 90, so angle in a semicircle is always 90 degrees. So BH is the diameter. Likewise, DCEH, so this would be a cyclic quadrilateral for the same reasons. And also, AEHF would be a cyclic quadrilateral. So तीन cyclic quadrilateral तो already हमने note कर लिया. Now, पहले मैंने बोला था कि there are 6 cyclic quadrilaterals. So can we find the other 3 cyclic quadrilaterals? The other 3 would be BCEF. So if we look at it, if we look at the quadrilateral BCEF, अगर हम BCEF के quadrilateral को देखें, so this is also a cyclic quadrilateral whose diameter is BC. Whose diameter is BC. And this can be easily seen. This can be easily seen because we know that angle F in this quadrilateral plus angle E, this is 90 plus 90, which is 180. And in fact, angle F is equal to angle E. So basically, BC subtends the same angle at 2 points E and F, 90 degrees. So that means BFEC is a cyclic quadrilateral. So this is again one of the ways to prove that the quadrilateral is cyclic. That if any two angles, if a chord subtends same angle at any 2 points, the quadrilateral will be cyclic. So BC is subtending 90 degrees at E and F. So obviously the quadrilateral is cyclic in nature. And obviously, since this angle is 90 degrees, the diameter will be BC. Right. So we found one more cyclic quadrilateral in this, small diagram. And similarly, there'll be other two. So ACFD, CDFA, and there'll be one more. The one more will be AEDB. So ADB is missing. So AEDB is also a cyclic quadrilateral whose diameter will be AB. Diameter will be AB. I hope this is clear to each and everyone because this is important. So in this diagram, so triangle with 3 altitudes, I can see there are 6 cyclic quadrilaterals. 6 cyclic quadrilaterals. All right. So very interesting one this. All right. So this is again an interesting one. So what if the triangle is right angle? What if it is a right angle triangle? So where would be the orthocenter? So in right angle triangle, the orthocenter will be at the point containing the right angle. So if A is a right angle, so this is the point. This is also the orthocenter because B से altitude draw करेंगे to the opposite side. So can I say this will be the altitude. Likewise, we'll draw an altitude from C onto AB, and this will be the altitude. They're meeting at this point only. And if we draw an altitude from A point, this passes through this point. So this is the point of intersection of 3 altitudes. So in case of right angle triangle, the orthocenter is at vertex of the triangle. I hope this is clear to everyone. Right. So these are some important properties. And the last one is the length of AH. The length of AH. That is the length from the vertex to the orthocenter. The length from the vertex to the orthocenter, this is 2r cos A, where r is the circumradius. Where r is the circumradius. Circumradius का मतलब क्या होता है? If we draw a circle passing through all the 3 points, that radius is r. That radius is r. Right. Now, how do we prove this? Now, let us take the standard notation C, and this would be A and this would be B. Now, if we consider triangle AEB, so we are applying a bit of trigonometry here. AEB is a right angle triangle, right? and this is angle A. This is angle A. So can I say cos A? Cos A will be AE upon C. So AE will be C cos A. No problem with this. So this length has been C cos A. There's no problem with this. Right. Now, let us change the triangle. Let us consider triangle AHE, which is again a right angle triangle. Right angle triangle. Now, if it is a right angle triangle, can I find any one of the angles apart from 90 degrees? So can I find this angle? Can I find this angle? So if we consider triangle ADC, ADC angle D is 90. This is C. So can I say this angle would be 90 minus C? This angle would be 90 minus C. And in this triangle, we know an angle. We know this side. Can I find AH? Yes. So AH can be found. What will be the trigonometric function? So based upon hypotenuse. So cos of 90 minus C would be base upon hypotenuse. That is AH. And cos 90 minus C is sin C. We know this. So AH, my dear friends, would be AE upon sin C. And if you put the value of AE was C cos A. So C cos A upon sin C. And this is something which we discussed at the start of the session. In any triangle, C upon sin C is 2R. No problem with this. So this value would be 2R cos A. Right. So this is something, if you are math enthusiast and if you want to perform well in pre-RMO or exams like NSCGS, this is something you have to keep in mind. So length of the vertex from the orthocenter is 2R cos A. A is the vertical angle and R is the circumradius of the triangle ABC. And likewise, BH will be 2R cos B and CH will be 2R cos C. Remember, it is the distance from the vertex to the orthocenter. Corresponding vertex to the orthocenter is 2R cos C. I hope this is clear to each and every one. Yes? Yes? All right. So let us move forward and discuss about the orthic triangle which we defined in the start. So orthic triangle kya hota hai? Now, as told you before, orthic triangle is the triangle formed by joining the foot of the perpendiculars. So AD, BE and CF are three perpendiculars. We join D, E and F, and this triangle is called orthic triangle. Right. So before we discuss about orthic triangle, before we find the angles and the sides of the orthic triangle, let us discuss something which we've done before. Can we prove that AE, F and H are cyclic? They lie on a circle with AH diameter. This has already been proved. How? Because this angle and this angle are 90 degrees. So if angle F is equal to angle E, which is 90 degrees, so can I say, so AH, AE, HF is cyclic. No problem with this. And since this angle is 90 degrees, the diameter would be AH. Diameter would be AH because angle subtended in a semicircle is always 90 degrees. So both ways it is 90 degrees, so AH would be the diameter. No problem with this. I hope this is clear to each and every one. No problem with this? All right. Again, right, so this is the solution. So B part, can we prove BFEC is again a cyclic with diameter BC? We just did this. How is that? Because this angle is 90 degree and this angle is 90 degree by definition. So if we consider the quadrilateral BCEF, so angle F is equal to angle E is equal to 90 degrees. So since BC is subtending equal angles, same angles at E and F, so can I say BCEF is a cyclic quad? And since this angle is 90 degrees, the diameter of the cyclic quadrilateral of the circle would be BC. No problem with this. Okay, so this is something which is easy and we've already proved. So I hope there is no problem with this. You can see the solution. All right. Now, the things are getting trickier. we have to prove, and this is very interesting, guys. We have to prove that H is the incenter of triangle DEF. So that means the orthocenter of the original triangle. H was orthocenter of the original triangle. That same point is the incenter of this orthic triangle. If we remember what incenter is. So incenter is the point of intersection of the angle bisectors. The point of intersection of the angle bisectors. Right. So I have to prove that H is the incenter. That means DH bisects angle D. Likewise, FH bisects angle F and EH bisects angle E. So I have to, in short, prove that this angle is equal to this angle. This angle is equal to this angle. How do I do this? Because if I prove for one, it will be obvious for all the other two also. So how do I prove this? Now, this is very simple, guys. We know that we just proved that FH, let me erase this. All right. F, H, D and B is a cyclic quad. Okay, if we remember this angle and this angle 90, sum of opposite angles is 180 degrees, so this is a cyclic quadrilateral. Now, can I say this angle, if this is X, this would be X. If this angle is X, this angle would be X because FH is subtending same angle at B and D. FH is subtending same angle. FH is subtending the same angle at B and D because this is a cyclic quadrilateral. For the same reason, guys, exact same reason, can I also say that this angle and this angle would be equal? That is because HECD is a cyclic quad. Because the sum of opposite angle is 90 degrees. So HE would subtend the same angle at C and D. Now, I have to just prove that X is equal to Y. How can I prove X is equal to Y? Now, angle chasing. So if this is 90 degree, if we consider angle ABD or triangle ABD, angle D is 90 degrees. Angle D is 90 degrees or okay, let us change the triangle. Let us consider ABE instead. ABE, this is 90 degrees. This whole is A. So can I say X is 90 minus A? Angle X is 90 minus A. If we consider triangle ABE. And how do we find Y? So if we consider triangle AFC, angle F is 90 degrees. This is A. So this would be 90 minus A again. So Y is also coming out to be 90 minus A. How interesting this is. So that means X is equal to Y. And that means, more importantly, DE or DH bisects angle D. And similarly, I can prove that EH bisects angle E or FH bisects angle F. And the point of intersection of the angle bisectors is the incenter. And hence, we proved this. So very interesting this. Very interesting thing this. Right. So remember this. The orthocenter of triangle ABC is same as the incenter of triangle DEF, which is the orthic triangle of ABC. I hope this is clear to each and everyone. Yes? All right. So this is the proof, right? So if you not understood my proof, this is the one written in the typed form, and you can spend some time after pausing the video, and then you'll be able to understand this. All right. So let us move forward. Let us go one step beyond. Find all the sides and angles of triangle DEF in terms of ABC, capital ABC. Now, आधा काम हमने पिछले क्वेश्चन में कर लिया है. We proved that this angle, if we remember, is 90 minus A. And likewise, this angle would be 90 minus A. So the whole angle D would be 180 minus 2A. And similarly, angle E would be 180 minus 2B. That is 180 minus 2 times the opposite angle. And likewise, angle F is 180 minus 2C. So we found the angles of triangle DEF. No problem with this. And we use the help of the last question. Last question we proved that, if you remember, we proved that this angle is equal to X and this angle is equal to Y. And somehow we proved X is equal to Y, if we remember. Right? So both of the angles X and Y are 90 minus A from the two triangles, and hence DH bisects angle D. So job done. So whole angle D would be 180 minus 2A, 90 minus A plus 90 minus A. Likewise, angle E would be 180 minus 2B, and angle F would be 180 minus 2C. No problem with this. Now, how do I find the sides? How do we find the sides? So we need to find FE. Let's say we need to find FE, because if we find one side, the other would be symmetric only. So how do I find side? Now, side would be found using sine rule. Sine rule. So consider triangle AFE. Consider triangle AFE. So can I say FE upon sine A? So F is something which we have to find. FE upon sine A. So can I say this is 2R1, where R1 is the circumradius. R1 is the circumradius of triangle AFE. So what we're doing is we're applying the sine rule in this triangle. We're applying the sine rule here. And AF, EH, again, they're cyclic in nature. This is something which we proved twice. AF, HE are cyclic. So circle passing through A and FE will also pass through H. No problem with this. Whose diameter is AH? Whose diameter is AH. So that means 2R1 is equal to AH. So job done. So FE would be AH sine A. And if we remember the value of AH, do we remember the value of AH? AH was 2R cos A. So just substitute the value of AH. Just substitute the value of AH. So this would be 2R cos A into sine A. And 2R sine A from sine rule is again small a. So this would be A cos A. So simple. So simple an expression. So FE would be A cos A. Again, we use sine rule. If you remember the sine rule, A upon sine A is 2R. So 2R sine A would be small a. Similarly, FD would be B cos B. And ED would be C cos C. So what we've done is we've simplified the orthic triangle. We've simplified the orthic triangle. That is, we found all the angles, we found all the sides in terms of small a, b, c, which are the sides of the original triangle, and in terms of capital A, B, C, which were the angles of the original triangle. So we've simplified, we've solved triangle DEF, which is the orthic triangle of triangle ABC. I hope this is clear to each and everyone who is watching this video. Right. So this is the answer. So A cos A, or this can be written as R sin 2A, because 2 sin A cos A, trigonometry में sin 2A लिख सकते हैं. But we wanted to find in terms of A and A, so this would be the answer. Or B sin cos B or C cos C. So the angles of the orthic triangle is 180 minus 2A and 180 minus 2B and 180 minus 2C. And the sides are A cos A, B cos B, C cos C. So simple, right? Which brings us to the last question. And the most difficult one, and the most interesting one also, right? We have to prove that the orthic triangle has the smallest perimeter of any triangle with vertices on the sides ABC. Very interesting, very important. So what does it mean, first of all? So let's say there's a triangle ABC. Now, so there are 3 points, one on each side. Let's say D, E, and F. This can be any triangle, not just orthic triangle. Now, there will be some perimeter. And similarly, can I say there can be infinite such triangles with 1 point each on the three sides. So there can be one triangle such as this. There can be one triangle such as this. There can be one which would be this, कुछ इस तरीके से. So there will be infinite such triangles. We have to prove that of all these triangles, the orthic triangle is the one which has the minimum perimeter for a given triangle. So triangle ABC is fixed. There will be many such infinite triangles with points D, E, and F lying on one point on each side. I have to prove that of all these triangles, the triangle DEF is the one with the least perimeter. Right? So how do I do this? This is very interesting, guys. Very interesting. So what we do is consider any triangle UVW. And mind you, this is not just orthic triangle, this is any triangle UVW. So what we do is we try and reflect UW about AB and UV about AC. इनकी रिफ्लेक्शन लेते हैं. तो UW का अगर मैं रिफ्लेक्शन लेता हूं about AB, so this would be something like this. U dash will be, let's say this point is U dash, and if I take the reflection of UV about AC, so this would be U double dash. No problem with this, right? Now, so can I say if this is the reflection of UV and this is the reflection of this, so can I say U dash W is same as UW and U double dash V, this length, is same as UV. There's no problem with this, right? We all understand reflection में exactly is same length रहती है. Now, I need to find the perimeter. So what is the expression of the perimeter of the original triangle? It will be WU plus UV plus WV. Now, can I write WU? WU can be written as U dash W. WV will be as it is. And UV can be written as U double dash V. U double dash V. So UV is U double dash V. So we've written this as this and this as this, as we proved. Now see. So instead of taking the original sides, now we're taking these three sides and see what are these sides. So U dash W, so this length, plus this length, plus this length. Now, so perimeter of the triangle, if I take the reflection, the perimeter becomes this length. So in other words, can I say I have to go from U dash to U double dash. U dash to U double dash. And since the perimeter is minimum, that means I have to take the shortest route. That means I have to take the shortest route from U dash to U double dash to make the perimeter shortest. I hope you are getting this, because this is the perimeter and this would be the perimeter, and by geometry the perimeter is something like this length plus this length plus this length. So मुझे इस point से इस point पे जाना है using the shortest route. And what would be the shortest route? This would be the shortest route, the line joining U dash and U double dash. So this is very interesting, guys. I hope you all understand till this. So what we've done is we've taken the reflection of UW and UV about AB and AC respectively. Reflection था तो UW was same as U dash W. UV was same as U double dash V. So perimeter का expression लिखा and ये expressions replace कर दिए, and what we can see from geometry is यहाँ से यहाँ जाना है using the shortest routes, because we have to make the perimeters as small as possible. Okay. So this U dash, U double dash would be shortest. Now, for any triangle, can you tell me when will U dash, U double dash will be shortest? Now, one thing we can also see that U dash and A को अगर हम join करते हैं, so U dash A is same as AU, because we reflected this point, right? We reflected this line, and also AU double dash would be same as AU, because reflection ही तो है. If this is the reflection, so this length and this length would be same, and this length and this length would be same. So that means AU dash and AU double dash are same. That means this triangle this triangle. Which triangle? A, U dash and U double dash is an isosceles triangle. This triangle is an isosceles triangle, right? अब अगर मुझे U dash and U double dash का लेंथ मिनिमम करना है, so can I say इस लेंथ को isosceles triangle की साइड को मिनिमम कर दो, because this length and this length are exactly same. तो अगर मुझे इसको मिनिमम करना है and AU dash and AU double dash is same as AU, so can I say AU को मिनिमम करना है? So U is one such point on BC such that AU is minimum. And if AU is minimum and U is a point on BC, when can AU be minimum? AU can be minimum if it is at a shortest distance. So that means U is the foot of the perpendicular from A to BC. And hence, the question is done. Similarly, I can prove that V would be the foot of the perpendicular from B to AC. And W will be the foot of the perpendicular from C to AB. And hence, the triangle with the least perimeter would be the one which is called orthic triangle. I hope you all understood this, guys. The shortest path is a straight line from U dash to U double dash. There is no problem with this. Let me repeat my explanation again. Now, AU dash and AU are both equal to AU dash and AU double dash are both equal to AU. This is also proved by reflection, right? Now, the triangle is isosceles. I have to minimize U dash, U double dash for a particular triangle. So can I say this would be minimum when the sides are minimum? The sides are equal to AU. So that means AU is minimum. And AU minimum, AU can be all these, right? AU can be all these values. So when will AU be minimum? When it will be perpendicular to BC. So this would be the minimum length. And hence, U lies on the foot of the perpendicular from A to BC. And this is how we define the orthic triangle and hence proved. So you have to remember this, guys. So orthic triangle has the smallest perimeter of any triangle with vertices on the sides of triangle ABC. So how interesting this is, how interesting geometry is. I hope you all enjoyed this session. Yes. And if you did, please subscribe to our channel. And if you have any student who wants to learn good maths, good science around you, please make him or her subscribe to this channel. All right, guys. Till next time, take care. Bye.